No, Mataji, still
It started.
can't do the recording as
Prabhuji
Prabhuji made a co-host, but
Sorry,
still
ma'am.
we don't have that option.
I think the recording started, but I just pressed the button of recording.
It started. Prabhuji has started
But
live
is it,
recording.
Mataji, the two recording? One is recording here, one is live streaming. Live streaming is done, right?
Yeah, it's done right now.
Okay, that's good.
For tomorrow and Monday, I will tell Manidhar Prabhu Mataji, so he will can do that.
Yeah, Mataji, one time I was able to do, I don't know.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
let's chant.
Who's the speaker, Mataji, for today? It's 7:26.
His Grace Neela Govind Das from Tennessee.
Okay, he'll learn later, right?
Yeah. Mataji just told now he will join around.
Okay, I didn't read that.
Yeah.
We can do chanting till 7:30, Mataji.
Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hari Bol Hari Bol. Dandvat Pranam Prabhuji Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Neera Govind Das Prabhuji from Tennessee. And today Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, verse 18. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, and whenever you are ready, please take over the call.
Hare Krishna, Ma. Please accept my humble obeisances. Just give me a couple of minutes. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we'll be reading from chapter 1. Sloka number 18. Actually, sloka number 20. But we completed 19 last week. अताव्यवहिषश्चन्द्रिष्ट्वा धर्तराष्ट्रन् कपिध्वज प्रवृत्ते शास्त्रसम्पत्ते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् idam mahamahipate. Translation purpose given by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. At the time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot, bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. Purport. The battle was just about to begin. It is understood from the above statement that son of Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of military force by the Pandavas. Who were guided by the distinct instructions of Lord Krishna on the battlefield. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory, because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle between Rama and Ravana. And Lord Rama emerged victorious. Now both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna to help him. Lord Krishna is Rama, and whereas Lord Rama is his eternal servitor Hanuman and his eternal consort Mother Sita, the goddess of fortune, are present. Therefore, Arjuna had no cause to fear any enemies whatsoever. And above all, the Lord of the senses, Lord Krishna, was personally present to give him direction. Thus, all good counsel was available to Arjuna in the matter of executing in the battle. In such auspicious conditions arranged by the Lord for his eternal devotee lay the signs of assured victory. It's a beautiful sloka actually. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaka Dhammayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lavita Shri Vishakam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Vishnu Vishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gurube Gaurachandraya Radhikatalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Tungam Langayate Grim Yatkripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurundina Tarinam Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. You all can hear me okay? Is this song
Yes,
audible?
Prabhuji. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So, this shloka is very important actually. Actually, all the verses in chapter 1, especially the way how Kauravas are actually reacting, to the Pandavas, who are pure devotees of the Lord. They do not have any other motive other than please the Lord. But when we actually see Kauravas, it's very interesting. Their reactions or their reciprocations or their qualities, they actually show how this current world is designed today. So a lot of people do ask, Gita was being spoken 5,000 years ago. How is it relevant now? Yes, it is so relevant now. Every character is relevant. If we see Pandavas, they're relevant of how pure devotee should aspire, of how one should come to the platform of pure devotional service. And on the other side, when we see Kauravas, we see how we should not be. So it is perfect example, a manifestation. Because unless and until this manifestation is not seen, we accepting the process of Krishna consciousness will be little superficial. That means it doesn't look practical. A lot of people do say or ask, Prabhu, how is this Krishna consciousness practical? Do you think surrender is possible in this age? I know at the time of Srila Prabhupada, they created the movement, and then they had an opportunity, to take shelter, and then they gave up everything they had because they had nothing. But now we have everything. How can we give it up? It's an interesting question, actually. See, those days they didn't have anything, so no relationships, no nothing, no family, this, that. So they could give up everything, and then they kind of surrendered. But if we actually technically see, Lord has kept them in that situation. A lot of people trying to find fingers towards the devotees who are exalted Vaishnava acharyas, pure devotees, who do exactly what Srila Prabhupada says. This is what we see in the heart of Pandavas. We see in the life of Pandavas, Kunti Maharani. They do exactly what Krishna wants. We see through the example of this, right? Where Ashwadhama was about to be killed. But Arjuna drags Ashwadhama, and then he's just waiting for the indication from the Lord and especially from his wife, Mother Draupadi. He's actually waiting because he severed the heads of all the Upapandavas who were like, they were about to grow. They're still in the early stages of their life. He was ruthlessly, he killed everyone. And then now, Krishna was telling Arjuna to kill, but Mother Draupadi is telling, no, do not kill. Now it looks little contrasting. It looks little contrasting. Krishna is telling to kill, but Mother Draupadi is telling, do not kill. Why? Because I have gone through the difficulty of going through that situation, of losing all my children. But I do not want Ashwadhama's mother go through that. This is the nature of a pure devotee. This is the nature of a soul who is really aspiring for the happiness of others. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu constantly reiterates about this. Even Srila Prabhupada, so many times, he reiterates about the importance of this. See, now we need to understand, there's an interesting question here. Now, how Mother Draupadi, losing everything, she was about to be naked in the wardrobe over there in the kingdom. So many difficulties came all through their life. Still, they do not want even one problem to come to others. Bhava. Krishna is what is Krishna? Krishna is seeing the Bhava. What is he doing? He's seeing the Bhava. Bhava Grahi Janardana. Who is he? Bhava Grahi Janardana. Krishna is not seeing our actions or activities, at how many rounds I chanted. Did I chanted 16 rounds before my Mangalarti? Did I did that? Did I did that? Did I did Mangalarti? He's not seeing, he's seeing that. But what is he also seeing? Which is the most important thing. He's seeing the Bhava. With what attitude I did it. Do I have the attitude of pleasing the Lord? Do I have the attitude of pleasing my spiritual master? Do I have attitude of pleasing Srila Prabhupada? If I have that attitude, do I have the attitude of seeing if paraduka duki, parasuka suki? This is the nature of a devotee. If the other devotee is distressed, he is distressed. So that is what Mother Draupadi was manifesting. She doesn't want that dukkha to manifest in the heart of Ashwadhama's mother and father. Doesn't want that to happen. See, this is a great quality. For me, no matter what difficulties come, I accept it. But for them, I do not. Dear devotees, if the entire life we are thinking about ourselves, does this ever manifest in our consciousness? Never. For sure. If the entire life we are thinking about ourselves, I me, myself, I me, myself, I me, myself, prakriti, kriya, mana, gunay, karma, sarvas, ahankara, vimudatma, kartam, iti, manmati. That I'm always thinking about myself, what this benefit will give. Even now, if I'm sitting here and then thinking about myself, it will not help. Even though the class go for 2 hours, but it will not give satisfaction to the heart. Why? Because it is being done for my own benefit. But rather, if this is done as a service to the spiritual master, as a service to Srila Prabhupada, because what can we discuss? Everything is Srila Prabhupada has given us. What can we define? Everything our spiritual master and all exalted Vaishnavas, they have given us. Our Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, they have given us everything actually. So what is it coming from us? Just a reciprocation. Nothing more than that. I remember one time a spiritual master was being asked this question. He was there in Vrindavan and as a brahmachari who lives in Vrindavan temple. And then this brahmachari would run to meet the spiritual master. And then he started asking a couple of things. It's very interesting. Please hear this. He said, Maharaj, I wanted to do Bhakti Vaibhav. Okay, he said, are you sure? Yes, Maharaj, I'm sure. I really wanted to do Bhakti Vaibhav. Why? What do you want to do by learning that? Then he said, Maharaj, I can do better service if I understand the purpose of Srila Prabhupada. I can develop my consciousness in a better way. And he started telling, we heard everything, and then he said, okay, you can learn, but I'll tell you few things. If you ensure you're doing these things, then definitely my mercy is there. And Srila Prabhupada's mercy is also there. Otherwise, you'll be frustrated. I said, yes, Maharaj, please tell. Then I started telling, oh, okay, now you're reading all these purports, you're understanding the scriptures. Now you'll go in the temple, you'll not find devotees of that kind. Because not everybody is interested to read the scriptures. So the moment you see them, if you start judging them, if you start assessing or analyzing them, then all the reading which you have done, it has no use. That means, technically what is happening means, when you start judging or analyzing them, then what is happening is, your Shastric understanding is diminished. That means all the efforts which you have kept, they are taken away. Now, why is this happening? There is Shastric evidence behind this. Aristane aparade tare murana Tomastane aparade nahi paretran. Now, who spoke this and what is the translation about this? Srila Narottam Das Thakur has wrote this poem, this kirtan. And then, who is Narottam Thakur? He directly descended from the spiritual world. Where is the spiritual world? This is Goloka. This is the topmost planet, which we all came from, and we are trying to reinstate our natural consciousness. Why I say natural consciousness means because that is natural. Serving the Lord, worshipping the Lord, offering in obeisances, manmanava mad bhakto madhyaje mam namaskuru, those are all natural propensities. So these things do happen in one's consciousness just naturally because all of you have a relationship with the Lord, not just with the Lord, all of his associates also, all of his devotees, you have a relationship. Now, if we all have relationship with devotees, if we have relationship with Krishna, which is very intimate, and that we have forgotten, and then now we are learning the scriptures and then trying to see faults because they do not do this. Now, what is the reason of this fault finding? Duryodhana is helping us to understand that. So here in the purport, I'll read this line, very, very closely connected to us. The battle was just about to begin. It is understood from the above statement that the sons of Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of the military force by the Pandavas, who were guided by the direct instructions of Lord Krishna on the battlefield. Why are they disheartened? Because they think that they will lose their property. Because they think that, oh, this dynasty will be gone. It will be gone away from me. What's gonna do? What will I do? Just like a person who is in his 60s is lamenting, what's gonna happen to me? What's gonna happen to my son? What's gonna happen to my grandson? Who will take care of him? He's lamenting. Just imagine, America has everything actually. People earn 150K, 200K. But still, the hearts are not satisfied. Why? Because that 150K or 200K is not giving satisfaction to the heart. Just like Dhritarashtra and his party, they are disheartened. Why? Because when Pandavas do have strong military, then through that strong military, they will kill Kauravas. The moment Kauravas are gone, that means the property is taken from Kauravas side to Pandavas side. Right? That's why we see a lot of people actually running behind this Dhana, Jana and Sundari. Why? Because everyone is thinking that this is giving satisfaction to the heart. But if we closely observe, the billionaires of this world, they should be more satisfied. But why are they not? I think 3-4 months back, the CEO of a healthcare company in New York, he died through suicide. He's a CEO of a healthcare company or an insurance company, healthcare/insurance company. This person is earning in millions. He could enjoy his senses to the best of his ability. He has money, he has everything. Then why did he suicide? Because he tried so many things. There is no satisfaction to the heart. This material nature will keep us in a bewildered state of illusion. So through this state of illusion, what's going to happen? Completely perplexed. The thing which we are thinking that gives happiness, that would never give happiness. Because it is keeping us in a different state of platform. It is not keeping us in correct state of platform, because every condition source has 4 problems. And one of the problem which we see here through this purport, which Srila Prabhupada is explaining. The Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of the military force, but because they were not expecting that to happen, but that happened. Just as Srila Prabhupada is actually seeing through the heart, cut open through the heart. He's actually seeing what's happening over there. This is Guru Parampara, dear devotees. That's why our Acharyas, we should worship them. साक्षात् हरित्वेन समस्त शास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा भाव यत एव सद्य किंतुर प्रबोय प्रियेव तसो वंदे गुरोषि चरणारविंदम. One should worship the Acharya as the spiritual master, as worshipping as equal to Krishna. Because why? Because they are the one who cut open our consciousness and then give Krishna prem. Brahmanda Brahmita Kone Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasada Bhakti Lata. They give that seed, dear devotees. Can you imagine? We cannot imagine actually. That seed is the greatest blessing for us. You cannot imagine actually. Because the sadhaka is in four. The conditioned souls in this world. Liberated souls are not. The conditioned souls are in four defects. What is that? To be illusion, cheating propensity, making mistakes, and imperfect senses. Now, slowly through the process of Shravana and Kirtana, these four defects are erased. If we have that desire, now Krishna will ask us that question. Oh, if these four defects are erased, what do you do? Do you do sense gratification? Then Krishna will not give. We need to confirm. We need to tell Krishna that, my dear Lord, I'm going to serve your pure devotee. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, he aspired the same thing in front of Lord Nrsimhadev. We celebrated Lord Nrsimhadev appearance day, last week, or a couple of weeks back. Yes, I think it is a couple of weeks back. So, we celebrated Lord Nrsimhadev's appearance, right? So, through that appearance day, Tava Brutya Sevya, what is he saying? What is he saying? He's telling Lord Nrsimhadev, my dear Lord, Tava Brutya Sevya, I want to serve your pure devotee. Now again we come to the discussion where we started. Where my spiritual master telling his disciple this beautiful thing. To him, for everyone actually. For all his disciples, not to one disciple. Whenever spiritual master is giving instructions, we should take that actually. We should see through that instruction and then we should see how I can apply that instruction in my life. In what way I can improve the consciousness. So, he said, the moment you start finding faults, then all the understanding is gone. Then he said, you better not do Bhakti Vaibhav. If you have that attitude, don't do it. Why? Unnecessarily. You do your services. Don't waste time in that way. Better not do it. He told one more thing. Oh, you are not trying to read Srila Prabhupada purports. No, you are trying to assess, analyze, and then now you are started to think, oh, Prabhupada should have written like this. Oh, Prabhupada should have written like that. Prabhupada should have given more elaborate here. He should have written about this thing also. Because the sloka is telling this. He should have explained in this way also. You are actually assessing the person who is written, who directly descended from the spiritual world. No, if you are getting these things, then don't. Then don't read. Then don't do the course. Then the devotee understood with what attitude one should approach the spiritual master and the Shastra. Now, what is that attitude, dear? Not the attitude which Kauravas are carrying. Kauravas are carrying this attitude of what? Especially his leader. This dear devotee, this is important. Whoever is the leader. Through that leader only, we will learn so many things. Either good or bad. That's why if the leader is good, everything will be good. Remember Srila Prabhupada in one of the conversation telling, they are all worshipping you. There's a beautiful conversation where Srila Prabhupada was actually discussing with at that time the leaders. They're telling you, Prabhupada was telling you should become more and more pure because they are seeing you. Speaking to the temple presidents and all the other devotees, Prabhupada was telling you should become more pure because they are seeing you. If you become pure, they will get that inspiration and they will also become pure. So Prabhupada was always very vigilant. He was always trying to give that pure devotion service. He was telling us to become pure, aspire for that pure consciousness. Because it is only that consciousness which will help us take us home back to Godhead. And we don't develop that consciousness for going home back to Godhead, but we develop naturally that consciousness because that is what we are from. That is where we came from. As I said, the natural consciousness. What is that natural consciousness? Jivara Swarupa Krishna Nityadas. The eternal servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Just like Prahlad Maharaj was telling, Tava Brutya Seva, I want to worship, I want to please Narada Muni because he gave me everything. Now he's telling, how can I leave and then come to the spiritual world? I cannot do that. I want to serve him. Then Lord Nrsimhadeva was so pleased with this attitude. Oh, what is the Lord? Bhava Grai Janardana. The Lord is what? Bhava Grai Janardana. So he's so pleased with that consciousness. And before that, the Lord would keep his hand on the head of Prahlad Maharaj because he's his dearmost devotee. Very important because he was so pleased. Because he was always absorbed. Because he has complete faith and conviction in the teachings of his spiritual master on the Lord. Then the devotee understood, no, my spiritual master wants me to develop this consciousness of Trinada Pisanichan. Taravariva says, Manina Manadena. Giving respect to everyone, not accepting any respect in return. They are giving, that's okay. We accept that respect and then give to our spiritual master. This is Guru Parampara. If we do not understand the glories of the Guru Parampara, dear devotees, we are bewildered actually in this world. There's a lot of apasampradayas do come. Apasampradayas do come. Impersonalism, voidism. Only giving respect to the acharyas, not to anyone else. These are all what? Apasampradayas. They do not give satisfaction to the heart, or they do not give us some benefit to advance in Krishna consciousness. It's because this philosophy will become so dry. Because we don't know why we are doing this. Dear devotees, if we do not know why we are chanting or why we are hearing early in the morning, and then leading our life from morning to evening for that reason, dear devotees, we are completely bewildered and baffled in this world. Just like Duryodhana, he has everything actually. So wonderful, dear devotees. He has everything, but still he is frustrated. Still he is dejected. Oh, why are they dejected? Because they are thinking that they will lose whatever they have. Because they have that fear factor in the background. The moment we have that fear factor in the background, dear devotees, our sadhana, or even while we are chanting, you'll remember about the fearful situation. Oh, what's going to happen to me at work? Oh, what's going to happen to me at here? What's going to happen to my kids? They're not taking this process. What's going to happen to them? So, dear devotees, the fear is not affecting externally, but that fear is affecting our consciousness. Natvanetam jatu nasam natvaneme janadivaha nachayvana bhavishyama. Krishna in chapter 2, he speaks. And dear devotees, I'll tell one important aspect and then we discuss about this. Now, the situation of Arjuna is something profound because we haven't yet, I think the next sloka is that. Sayanayarobhayar madhye radam sthapitam achyuta. Where Arjuna is actually telling Krishna that, my dear Lord, please take me to the center of the battle. Now I will give a glimpse and then again we'll come to this particular shloka. Why? Because this is important. Because there are few wonderful reciprocations between Hanumanji and Ramchandra, Lord Ramchandra. Pure devotee interacting with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What kind of dealings they go through. We'll discuss that in a bit. But let me come to this one aspect of what Arjuna is trying to explain here. Arjuna, through his heart and heart, he really wanted to fight. What is Arjuna doing? Through his heart and heart, he really wanted to fight. But what is happening here is, now Arjuna has a desire to fight as guided by the Lord. He has the desire, but what is happening is, Krishna will keep him in a situation, Bhishma Dvana Pramukataha. Krishna is keeping him in a situation, because through that situation, Arjuna's attachments will come out. It's interesting, dear devotees. We'll take this point, then we'll try to understand this. Because this is very important. Because, dear devotees, we deal with this world in so many ways. We go to office, we work, we try to make a livelihood, and through that earnings, we spend that earnings in the service of the Lord. Whatever 10, 20, 50, whatever percent we want to do, we spend in the service of the Lord, service of the Acharya, service of the spiritual master. We give them. We are doing this. Now, the attachments which we are talking here is, these are not like completely material attachments, and they are not completely spiritual also. But Srila Prabhupada explains that Arjuna is attached to whatever, like Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, that is one level of attachment. That attachment is completely on a material platform. Because Duryodhana is actually in a fearful state. Dhritarashtra is in a fearful state, thinking that what's going to happen to my family members. But Arjuna is also thinking. But Arjuna's thinking and Dhritarashtra's thinking are different. Arjuna's thought process is in goodness, but Dhritarashtra's thought process is not in goodness. That's coming through passion. Now, why one's thought process can be in goodness and the other thought process can be in passion? If we do not have any expectation, but still we have an attachment, that is in goodness. Please try to understand this. But if we have an expectation and an attachment through that, that is in passion. So Arjuna was actually not expecting, but he was feeling grateful. He was expressing his gratitude that how can I kill these personalities, which we will discuss further as and when we go through the shlokas. Arjuna is expressing his heart that they've given me so much, then how can I kill? It's an interesting question. These are all valid questions. What Arjuna is posting here is all valid questions. Just like you can say, Are, I worked all my life to take care of my family, and then now Krishna is telling, you give up everything. Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam raja. Aham tam sarvapapeva mokshayishami vascha. You give up everything and then surrender to me. That means you have to give up my family, my this, my that. There are various questions will come. If one is really asking, if one is really having that inquiry, if we are just running behind everything, then we cannot perceive this. But if you are really inquiring, Prabhupada was being asked this question. Swamiji, we have done so many sinful activities in our life. Is it possible to counteract all those things in one lifetime? Prabhupada says at one moment. This is in Australia. Prabhupada was been asked this question after the class. Can we counteract all those sinful activities in one lifetime? Prabhupada says one moment. Now, what is that one moment? We need to ask this question. What is that one moment? How that one moment will come? That one moment is the moment where we see through the life of Arjuna. And that can also be seen through our life also. What is that one moment? Arjuna said, Karpanya dosha apata svabhava Prichamitam dhamma sarmuda cheta Yashehi tan nishitam bhuhi tanme shishyaste sadimam tvam prapannam. Arjuna is telling, my dear Lord, this illusion has covered me so much, this material nature has covered me so much. You please help me and protect, because I am a surrendered soul to you. Now you please guide me what I need to do. Now you tell, I'll follow that. And whatever you say, I will try to do it. Now I am a surrendered soul to you. You please instruct me. That is when Gita began. Gita is not like a debate. You tell something and the other person is telling. Gita is not a debate where Arjuna is telling something, Krishna is telling, contracting, and then Arjuna is telling, no, Krishna, that is not right. And then Krishna again is telling on that, no, this is right. No, Arjuna is telling again on top, no, Krishna, what you said is incorrect. Krishna is again telling, no, that is not incorrect. It is not like that. Karpanya, humbly submitting at the lotus feet of the Lord. Now, who is Krishna there? He is a spiritual master. Krishna is no longer a friend now. Krishna is no longer a friend to Arjuna. He is a spiritual master. And then he is teaching. Then Arjuna is accepting. Now we will stop there. Again we will come here. Why? Because we need to know how these things have to be established in our heart. Because that consciousness which Arjuna is carrying, dear devotees, that is a precursor to understand Gita. If we do not come to that platform, that is the reason why chapter 1 is so important. If we thoroughly understand chapter 1, then we will understand, there is a lot to be done in the consciousness. There's a lot to be changed in the consciousness. We have to transform our consciousness. We have to fully work for the pleasure of the spiritual master and Krishna. That Karpanya has to be established, humbly submitting at the lotus feet of the spiritual master and the Lord. When we submit, then what happens, dear devotees? Then we can understand the teachings of Gita. Then we will not find faults. Just like Maharaj was telling to the devotee, if you want to practice Bhakti Vaibhav, then you should have these things. You should be free from all these things. Then you can study. Because this is the attitude. I remember spiritual master telling, when we are reading or hearing, when we are reading, Srila Prabhupada is actually sitting on the Vyasasana, and then we are sitting in front of him, very meek, submitting, and then trying to understand his every word. Dear devotees, every word is a nectar. Whatever Krishna is giving, whatever Srila Prabhupada is writing, every word is nectar. It is actually representing the heart of Krishna. For sure, no doubt about it. How? How do we know that Srila Prabhupada's instructions is representing the heart of Krishna? Because coming from the disciplic succession. And our spiritual master is representing the words of what? Srila Prabhupada. This is a beauty. This is a beauty in disciplic succession. This disciplic succession will go for 10,000 years, as Srila Prabhupada told. Because whoever is sincere and dedicated to following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, they are the next acharyas. They are the ones who will actually take this movement forward. There's so many exalted personalities, senior Vaishnavas, they are doing a lot of beautiful services. They carry forward. Because what are they doing? They are trying to please their spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada. That is the whole idea. Whole idea of sitting here is, I might not know anything, I might not get anything, I might not understand anything, but Am I trying to please my spiritual master? Am I trying to please Srila Prabhupada? Am I trying to please Krishna? Is this my motive? Then we are in Krishna consciousness. Because what is that? That is the internal energy of the Lord. It is not the external energy, damn external energy. Oh, I shouldn't say damn external energy because that is energy of the Lord also. Cannot use that word like damn. No. It is the external energy, but the external energy is very difficult. Daivi Yeshuguname Mama Durata Mama Eva Prapadyante Mayam Mitam Tarantite. Powerful. Mother Durga. Very powerful. The moment we do not have this consciousness, do you know what is? That I aspire to serve in the mode of servant of the servant of the servant. Let me please my spiritual master. Let me please Srila Prabhupada. Let me try to be absorbed in his instructions and then follow that to the life. And then try to please the Lord through that following. When we do that, dear devotees, then what happens? Our life will be in the internal energy. What that means? That means we are sheltered and protected. You remember the 4 defects which we discussed? That 4 defects will diminish. To be illusion, cheating propensities, making mistakes, imperfect senses. Because imperfect senses means what? Imperfect senses give what? Sense gratification. Through the sense gratification, what do we get? Little happiness. Through that little happiness, what do we get? Where are we kept? We kept in the external energy of the Lord. That is a Bahirangika Shakti of the Lord. Getting happiness through the senses is a Bahirangika Shakti. So through that Bahirangika Shakti, what is happening? We are taking the shelter of Durga Devi and Kali Purusha. When we take that shelter, then if you do what is, if you should closely observe this, the moment we are in the external energy, we will forget about Krishna. That bija which is there, which I said we can't imagine. Yes, we cannot imagine that. Brahmande Brahmite kone bhagyavan jiv. Bhakti lata bij, that bhakti lata bij, that they sow, the pure devotee sows in our heart. Through their association, through their conscience. It is not like you dig something and then you put a seed. It's not like physical thing, but it's in the consciousness platform. It is subtle. So that is what they give. The pure devotee gives what? They give that. They keep that in our heart. Then what do we do? Through the process of Shravana Kirtana. Shravana Kirtana, Smarana Vandana, Pada Sevana Dasyare. Pujana Sake Jana Atma Nivedana Govinda Dasa Vilashare. This is a desire. This is my Abhilasha. This is what I am aspiring. Govinda Das Maharaj is telling. Another exalted Vaishnava Acharya is telling. Bhaja Hure Mana Sri Nandana Abhay Charanaravinda. Shavana Kirtana Smarana Vandana. When one is absorbed in this and then trying to practice Krishna consciousness, and then when one comes out naturally from the heart, that is preaching. Because preaching means what? Preaching means to ensure that we strictly follow. First thing, one should follow that. Yagnartat karmano yatra. Lokoyam karma bandhana. Otherwise, what happens? We are bounded in karmic reactions. Karma bandhana. Oh, karma bandhana is very powerful. Just like Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana were fitting to the karma bandhana. Oh, very difficult. The material nature will bind one's consciousness. That's why they are fearful. That's why they are disheartened, because they are thinking that they will lose their property. Dear devotees, if we do not practice diligently Krishna consciousness, at the time of the death, we will be disheartened because we are losing so many things of this world. Antakale cha maya smaran mukta kalevara. Because whatever we meditate, because even though our body is not functioning at the time of death, which will happen, but the consciousness is working. But if the consciousness is not cultivated or trained in such a way, then dear devotees, what happens? We will be disheartened, just like these people are disheartened by seeing the exalted army which is there. By seeing the army, a powerful army, just like one country is disheartened to see the other country's military because they do not have that, but they wanted to fight, but their military is very weak, but the other country's military is very strong, very powerful. They become what? Disheartened, because they are thinking what? I belong to this nation, I belong to that nation, I am an Indian, I'm an African, I'm an American. We all think that we belong to that so-called thing. Just like all of these personalities on the other side of the battlefield, they are thinking that they are disheartened, they are kind of bewildered, they are kept in that perplexed state of consciousness. They're thinking that through this property only I will get happiness. No, why a person will be attached, dear devotees? We were discussing about goodness and attachment in goodness and attachment in passion. Attachment in passion is to have some expectations out of it. Attachment in goodness is to not expect. That is one level of understanding. When we go deeper, when we further understand this, through that attachment, what is happening there? What is? A fear factor will come. Because I have a belonging that this should happen in this way only. For example, even in Krishna consciousness, when we chant 16 rounds, we get an understanding that, oh, why I should get bhava, I should get prema, I should get this, I should get that. Excuse me. I should get this, I should get that. What is that? Not that we do not have desires. Devotees have desires. Here, Govinda Maharaj is telling, right? Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasya Pujan Nasa Kijana Atmani Govinda Das Abhilash. That is a desire. Is that not a desire? That means devotees do not have desire? No, devotees do have desires. So when we chant, we have the desire. My dear Lord, I really want to please you. Please give me some taste to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because through that taste, I will do services much more diligently. Because we have a desire. But Krishna might give or might not give. If Krishna is not giving, still we need to have that desire. We should not be dejected. What is in the level of transcendence? We have that desire, but Krishna is not giving. Then what do? We continue aspiring for that desire. My dear Lord, I'll continue aspiring. Just like Narottam Das Thakur is telling, Pratijanma kare asha charane radhuli Narottama karo doya apanara bule. He's telling that is a desire. He's weeping to have life after life the dust of the lotus feet of pure devotees. Because he want to serve them. Tadera charana seni bhatasane janama janama hoye abhilash. He's aspiring for that consciousness. My dear Lord, that is valid. But when Krishna gives, when he doesn't give, it's in his hands. Just like a child, he's asking the father, my dear father, can you give me 10 rupees or $10 or 10 euros? My dear Lord, can you please give me that? He can ask, but the father has his independence also. He can give or not give. Out of love, sometimes he gives out of love. Sometimes he doesn't give. That is also love. Likewise, sometimes Krishna will give taste. Sometimes he will not give taste. That is also fine. He is my father, ever my father and my well-wisher. It's like you go and ask your spiritual master, can you give me this spiritual, can I do this spiritual master? He says, don't do this. Later on, when you go and ask him again, he says, oh, do this. So in both the situations, he is our father, he is our well-wisher. So we accept him. This is relationship, dear devotees. Just like Hanumanji has a beautiful relationship with Lord Ramachandra. Because through that relationship only, he became the flag of the chariot, on the top of the chariot. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, just see, acharyas are so beautiful, dear devotees. Simple, they take one simple aspect and then they give entire Krishna consciousness in that. You see, so many thousands of ways Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, is actually helping us to be Krishna conscious. Different ways and means. Now coming to that aspect, when the devotees have seen Srila Prabhupada like that, they gave their life. Wow. Exalted Vaishnava Acharyas, they're doing so much service in our movement. So grateful to them actually. Because what do they give? They give us that inspiration. So that at least we do 0.11, 0.00001% of that. The more we practice, the more we do it in our life, Krishna will empower us. Our acharyas, they will empower us. This is required. So now, if we are attached to the all so-called things of this world, that means we do not have that. We have. We cultivate that, but we are not attached to it. It's important thing. We do it, we diligently follow it, but we are not attached to it. Attached in the sense, we are not attached to property or this or that. We are there in that we understand that it belongs to the Lord. It is a property of the Lord. Today or tomorrow, it has to be submitted to them. It's important. So here, Hanumanji again came in the Apuriga and then became the flag. Now Prabhupada is mentioning, as a pure devotee, there is also the Supreme Lord. There is Hanumanji, and then there is Rama, who is Krishna. And then through their presence, do you think Arjuna will lose the battle? No, he will win the battle. This is what happens, dear devotees. In whichever side we are, in whichever way we want to improve our consciousness or develop the process of pure devotion service within our heart, Krishna will reciprocate in that way. Now Arjuna has that desire to please the Lord. That's why Krishna gave him that. If Duryodhana had that desire to please Krishna, he would have given 5 villages. This war wouldn't happen. But Duryodhana was not in a position because he doesn't want to give. Because he's not in a position to accept that. Oh, how can I give? This is my property. So likewise, even in our life, we will get certain situations and scenarios or circumstances where we have to submit ourselves to the Lord. If we are not submitting, then we will not get the benefit. We need to find those ways and means to submit to the Lord. Then we can find some solace. Otherwise, the solace will not happen. Now, I will tell a couple of things and conclude. We should always see what is the heart of Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana and what are the hearts of Pandavas. We should compare and then check in our heart. We should be honest to ourselves and then check in our heart. Do I have any qualities of Dhritarashtra or Duryodhana? Do I have this attachment? Do I have lust, greed, anger, envy, false ego, pride? We should check. We should check those anarthas. And then through the process of hearing, through the process of association, slowly, we need to transform our consciousness to the consciousness of what Pandavas have. This we need to aspire. Otherwise, we will be bewildered in this world. So even through that bewilderment, if we understand that there is something problem going on, even that is an opportunity for us to come and then take more shelter. Very important, because these two things have to be addressed correctly. These two things very diligently. Just like we discussed at the beginning of the session, right? Mother Draupadi was reluctant. She was not in a position to do that. She was telling that I will not do this. Why? Because I don't want to give trouble to the other person. Now, it is not just that she doesn't want to give trouble to the other person, but if we technically see, Krishna is also telling, kill him. She went away from that instruction also. But she was there in front of the Lord. Arjuna was there. Arjuna was also not killing. Arjuna was actually waiting. Now, an interesting question will come. Are Krishna is telling to kill. Now, how come Arjuna is not killing? Now, this is after hearing Bhagavad Gita, everything, right? Now, Arjuna told Krishna, Aita Teja Tata Kuru, whatever you say, I'll do. Now, here in this instance, Krishna is telling him to kill, but Arjuna is not killing. Right? Arjuna is actually seeing the heart of Mother Draupadi. Because Arjuna knows, if my devotee is pleased, Krishna is pleased. Krishna is satisfied. Because if Draupadi is happy and satisfied, Krishna is satisfied. For sure. For sure. Because Lord is ready to do anything for his devotees. That is the greatest thing, dear devotees. Shipram bhavati dharmatma kaunteya pratijanati name bhakta pranakshite. My devotee will never perish. Arjuna, you declare boldly. Because Krishna told that I will not fight. But he fought. He fought in the battle. Why? When he is ready to break his promises. Why? To protect his devotees. So likewise, Krishna is ready to change his words. Why? To give satisfaction to his devotees. Krishna personally told that you kill. But now Mother Draupadi is telling, do not kill him. Because I do not want to give problem to another mother. Krishna was so pleased with those words. His heart was completely satisfied. That is the reason why he always stays with his devotees. Now again I'll come to the first thing which we discussed. Haristane aparade tarya morana tomastane aparade nahi paryetran. Even if one offends the Lord, there is holy names. Holy names to protect. Okay. But if one offends a devotee, there is nothing to protect. Why? Due to this reason. Due to this reason of the reason which we just discussed. So dear devotees, we don't know. For example, you go to the temple, and then there is some devotees who came. Then they don't know. They are doing some things which are not supposed to be done. If you have little understanding of in which way it has to be done, you go talk to them, make sure that it is done in the right way, then that's it, complete. But if you do not have that, never ever judge them that they are doing this in bad way, doing that in good way, this is not right, that is not right. Never ever do that. Because the moment we begin doing it, what are we doing? we will actually develop grudge towards that person, and slowly enmity will come for that person in our heart, and then eventually we will do an offense. And when that offense happens, Krishna will not help, holy names will not help. Aparadha means what? Radharani is gone. Appa means gone. Appa Radha. Who is Radha? Srimati Radharani. She's gone. Aparadha. I have seen personally with my eyes. When a devotee offended another devotee in front of me, he was being sent out of the temple. Because it works. Do you think that this doesn't happen by the intervention of the Lord? No, it is happening through the intervention of the Lord only. So we should be very, very careful. We should appreciate the devotees. We should have good relationship with devotees. Cultivate. Even though we might have few devotees, but we should have good. We might not know so many one. We might know a few. We need to have good relationship. Dadati pratignati guhyamakyati prachati. When we have this, then the disheartedness which is there in the heart, that will be dissipated. Hare Krishna. Wanted to stop here. And if anyone has any questions or any comments, would like to add anything, or if I spoke anything wrong, please, it's more than happy. Please share something. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for this wonderful class.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I had a question regarding judging, like you said. Yes, we should not judge people, but my question is that didn't the Pandavas or Draupadi judge Duryodhan and his brother? And she did ask for revenge from him, right? The brother, Dushasan, right?
Okay.
So I know he's not a devotee, but judging, you mean only not judging a devotee or anybody?
So I didn't get your question. Can you ask?
I heard that for Ashwathama, she said that she doesn't want his mother to get, in the same situation. And I mean, she didn't want that hurt. How about Dushasan? I mean, she wanted the revenge, right?
Okay.
So it's a what I'm trying to understand is in one situation she didn't want it, and in another, I'm not very clear about this, that she said she wanted revenge. So how would you compare these two situations?
Okay. See, it is a different perspective. So, in one way, the Lord trying to teach different lessons through different pastimes. Comparing and then contrasting will be little difficult because from our consciousness perspective, we should have a clarity that we shouldn't judge. For example, actually that if you technically see, whoever were killed on the battlefield, they all got benefited through their own desires. If none of them had any relationship with the Lord, they all received impersonal liberation because they do not have that relation with the Lord in the mode of devotional service. So that doesn't mean that if you actually technically see, Arjuna is also expressing his heart. In chapter 1, we will see in next slokas. He gives so many reasons. He is expressing his heart. See, judging one thing, expressing our heart is another thing. Judging means to have some enmity towards that other person. Then we want to put them down. Because through that judgment, the reason is something different. We want that person to be down. That is a real thing, because we want ourselves to be the superior. And then we want the other person to be down. But in this case, Draupadi she might have told that kill him, but the intention was not that. The intention is what? She knows if he is killed, he'll get the benefit from the Lord. But here, whereas on the other side, she's thinking about the other person. Even though Ashwadama did so much sinful activities, still she said, just leave him. But actually, leaving him than killing him is more suffering actually. Technically, if a person is killed, that means that there ends the matter. Whatever he is supposed to get, he'll get it. But here Ashwadama was not being killed. He doesn't have death. He's suffering so much.
Yeah, actually being killed by the Lord, you get liberated, right? So
Yeah, you get liberation. There are different
Yeah.
levels of liberations also. The school of impersonalism, they get that kind of liberation. That means because they do not have a relationship with the Lord. The school of impersonalism, there are different schools. You know different schools, right? There is Advaita, which propagates the teachings of Lord Shankaracharya. There are different institutes for that, which do propagate that. In that propagation, what happens is they teach, they aspire, they desire for that liberation. Because in that process of learning, there is no form to the Lord. Just imagine, even Lord is accepting that. Because Lord only wants pure devotees to come to his side. And then the others, they can go to the other side. Because Lord is not against anyone. He has equanimity. But whoever is aspiring to become his devotee, he has special mercy to him. You understand? Whoever
Yes, Swamiji.
has that equanimity, whoever really wants to aspire for that pure devotion, then Lord is ready for them. Just like Lord was ready to protect Arjuna and Draupadi, keeping them in different situations and circumstances. One person, she said, kill. Other person, do not kill. Accepted both of them. Because the intention is right. Because intention of a pure devotee was nirmatsara. Nirmatsara means what? No tinge of enmity. Everything they do for the pleasure of the Lord. Arjuna killed so many people. Is it out of judgment? No. No. Is it out of envy? No. Is it out of fear? No. Is it out of raga? No. Arjuna did not do all of those things due to those things. Arjuna did it for the pleasure of the Lord. That is the nature of a devotee. Whatever Draupadi speaks, she always wants to please the Lord through that action and the endeavor. That's it. As simple as that. Is the reason why we have clarity in Krishna consciousness. It doesn't look contrasting. Another example I'll give. Vishnudev was actually a devotee, pure devotee of the Lord. Then why is he fighting against the Lord? Why is he fighting against the Lord? Because that is his desire. Veera Rasa. He wanted to manifest that Veera Rasa with the Lord. Vira Rasa can be manifested when he's against the Lord. He's against the Lord, but he's not against the Lord. He looks against the Lord, but he's not. It's a beauty. That means in whatever situation we've been kept, we always aspire to please the Lord. The Prabhupada's properties were gone. Srila Prabhupada's properties were gone. He was completely lost. No money. But still, he was always on the side of the Lord. He said, "My dear Lord, thank you so much for showing me the naked truth of this world." He was deepening his consciousness more and more. That desire to please his spiritual master was increasing more and more. So that is a mode.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else? So from our side, we should never judge. We should never offend. We should never judge. We should always aspire to be a devotee, good devotee. If there is a chance and a possibility, we should serve. We should serve through different ways. Because that is a way where we can develop the relationship. Hare Krishna. Anyone else would like to add anything? If not, we will stop here. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat
It's a
pranam.
wonderful class, and blessed Prabhu since to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatara Vaishya kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnavanda ki jai.
Jai.
Namacharya Srila Das Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Jai.
His Grace Nila Govind Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much. All
Thank you,
Krishna assembled
Prabhuji.
devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat
Hari Bol.
Pranam. Hari Bol.